Sometimes in life, we keep holding on to the pain of yesterday, to what we lost, to what we couldn't change. But peace begins the moment we learn to let go. In this story, we'll see how we can find peace by letting go of the past and embracing the present. In a small, peaceful town surrounded by hills and golden sunlight, there lived an old man named Williams. People knew him as the man with kind eyes and a gentle smile, but few knew how heavy his heart truly was. Every morning, Williams walked to his garden behind the house. It used to be full of bright flowers, lilies, tulips, and roses. Now, only dry leaves covered the ground and silence filled the air. He would water the soil without hope, as if waiting for something or someone who would never return. Years ago, Williams had shared this garden with his wife, Eleanor. She loved every plant, every color, every sunrise. She believed that flowers could hear love, that they bloomed brighter when spoken to kindly. But one cold winter, Eleanor fell sick. Williams tried everything: medicines, prayers, sleepless nights. But she slowly faded away, leaving behind her warmth in memories only. Since that day, the garden never bloomed the same, and Williams stopped talking to the flowers. One quiet afternoon, a young boy named Oliver wandered by. He often saw Williams sitting silently on the wooden bench. This time, the boy stepped closer and asked softly, "Mr. Williams, why do you always sit here alone?" Williams looked at him, his eyes tired but kind. "I come here to remember someone I lost," he said. Oliver looked around at the dying plants and asked, "Did she love flowers?" Williams nodded, a faint smile touching his lips. "She did." This was her favorite place in the world. Oliver crouched down, touching the dry soil. "But sir," he said innocently, "if she loved this garden, wouldn't she want it alive?" Williams froze. Those words, so simple and pure, struck his heart deeply. For the first time in years, he looked at the flowers not with pain, but with longing to bring them back to life. That evening, Williams took out his old watering can. The metal was rusty, the handle shaky, but his hands were steady for the first time in a long while. He began to clean the garden, removing weeds, cutting dry stems, and planting new seeds under the soft orange sunset. As days passed, the garden slowly began to change. Small buds appeared, butterflies returned, and birds started singing in the mornings again. Every petal that opened felt like a whisper from Elena, soft, loving, eternal. One morning, a white lily bloomed near the fence. Williams knelt down and touched it gently. "Elena loved lilies," he whispered, and for the first time, he didn't feel sadness. He felt peace. He finally understood. Love doesn't die when people leave. It stays alive in what they loved, in how we live, and how we choose to remember them. From that day onward, Williams made his garden a place of life again. Children visited to hear his stories. Neighbors came to enjoy the calmness and tea. And every visitor left with a smile, because something about that garden felt healing. People often asked, "Mr. Williams, how did you find peace after losing so much?" He would smile softly and say, "I didn't find peace. I grew it. Right here, one seed at a time." Years later, when Williams was gone, the garden remained, blooming brighter than ever. On a wooden board near the gate, someone had written his words, "When you let go of pain, you make space for love to grow again." This story teaches us letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering with peace instead of pain. The heart heals not by holding on, but by giving life to what remains. Because sometimes peace begins not with what we gain, but with what we finally set free. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Moralu Story. Every story we share is a reminder that life becomes lighter when we learn to let go.